Wes, I don't know if you've experienced that music yet.
I
You weren't
did
with us
because
on Monday night.
I watched the replay of
Oh, there we go.
the
Okay, there you
show.
go.
Very
I
good.
just
Yeah.
as I was playing it, I thought to myself, I don't know if Wes knows
Hey man,
this
we
music.
didn't want
No,
to.
I
Yeah,
was
It was an
I watched it a
impromptu.
day late to see what was
yeah,
going on.
we didn't want
But
to freak you out with the new
fire,
music or anything. It's all good.
absolute fire intro. The music, I mean, it was before, but the music is nice little jingle to get it going. And love, love it. It's a great,
Yeah,
I think it's
here we
perfect.
are.
But there we are.
All
Yes,
right. Well, we got
week 8
Wes's approval,
Indeed.
boys. There we go.
is on the horizon for tomorrow.
Yes, sir. We
We're
are
going to break that
here
all
for
down, but
the
first we are
Thursday
waiting on a special
edition.
guest, Hudson Tanner from the River High School Sharks.
Yeah.
We're getting ready for a big one at home as they host the Hilton Head Seahawks in a top 10 4A matchup.
How about it?
Yes, sir. Number 7 against number 10. I get to the pleasure of color commentary with Andrew Davis, which is just the most fun job because you just get to watch and say what you see and talk when you want to talk, and let Andrew talk when you don't want to. So I love doing color. It's really fun. I get to just kind of be loose and inject color into the broadcast and try to be a force for chaos and good. And so I look forward to that. That's going to be a blast. Should be a great game. But we got a bunch of good ones on the slate tonight. We'll get into all those. As Wes mentioned, Hudson Tanner going to join us here in a bit. Senior for the Sharks, plays a little defense, does a little kicking and punting. Been on that team seems like forever. It feels like he's like a sixth year senior or something. Feels like he's been on that team forever. So we'll get a little insight into Sharks camp from him and see how they're feeling ahead of the big game. The show brought to you by the LowcoSports Lowdown, brought to you by Mickelson Law Firm, our original sponsor and all-star sponsor, presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. They're our official real estate closing attorney, but they can help you with all your needs in downtown Bluffton. Our original sponsor, Mickelson Law Firm, and WHHI TV. And we got Marcus Walsh with us as always. Great to have you guys as our partners in local sports coverage. And
Likewise.
if you missed it tonight, I gave you a little brief rundown of the slate on last night in the Loco today on WHHI News, but we'll get in much more depth here tonight. How y'all boys doing, and what's happening? What's happening out there?
I'm doing great. Had a busy day. I had a lot of appointments to get to, but got those taken care of. But nice to just got to have a relaxing afternoon, hang out, enjoy the beautiful weather, and now got to double barrel action with the 40 plus bowl, or as the kids say, the unction between between Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers, and so it looks like so far it is 7-0 in favor of the Steelers. And then on the other side, we got to a big time game 4 as the Blue Jays, after taking the prior game 3, looked to even the series against
they
Seattle.
looked really good yesterday.
And all of a sudden, the Mariners struck first, so they have the lead last time I checked. But that seems like
first last night
I
too,
feel like this is a pivotal game. If the Mariners win and take a 3-1 lead, I feel like it will be very difficult for the Blue Jays to come back. But if the Blue Jays win, it's 2-2. They have 2 more home games, or at least 1 more home game guaranteed. This is a pivotal game in the series.
The Brewers are cooked, on the other hand. The Brewers are cooked.
Yeah, did they end up falling today?
Yeah,
I saw they were down 3-1.
3-0 lead. The only other team the only team so far to come back, of course, the 04 Red Sox. So there is still a faint glimmer of hope for the Brewers. But the Red Sox are the only team that have come back from 3-0 down. So
last time we saw a series between 2 teams out west was the Anaheim Angels San Francisco Giants series of 2002. So it'll be interesting to see what goes on there. I got a little glimpse as I was talking to you guys earlier this week. Was able to do a little bit of content for hopefully one of our weekend editions of the newscast on WHHI that we can run the next couple of weeks. Forrest Tucker and I were at Hilton Head later this afternoon and into the evening today to see the Colleton County JV girls volleyball team go up against Hilton Head. Interviewed Dustin Owsley beforehand and was talking about everything Colleton County, what he's doing with that program, and he's been immersed in volleyball for about 15 years. He was telling me. So he coaches. He created a new program over at Colleton County with performing arts, which
Nice.
took the choir program and turned it more into just the performing arts as a whole. And then, of course, what he's doing at Hilton Head with the Hilton Head Choral Society didn't even mention the symphony orchestra chorus, but he directs that as well. So I said at the beginning of, and he did give me kind of a wry smile on this. I did say at the beginning of the interview that, in my opinion, he is one of the most interesting men in the Low Country, for sure. He just bounces around from place to place, and he's an awesome guy. To be able to be a part of several things that he's involved in has been great over the last few years, for sure. It's been weird, and I talked to Forrest about this too, as he was up north last week. It's been weird not prepping for a game. I mean, I'm gonna see a game tomorrow, but to do all the prep for a play-by-play assignment, it's weird not to be doing that this week. But
twiddling your thumbs.
Actually, it really was needed because we've been going full bore, and we were going to get it either this week or next week. The way the schedule worked out, I'm actually really excited because as Max was filling us in last week, and we'll get more into it with HHCA talking about them next week because they're off this week. I'm looking forward to seeing what Crest Langos can do at quarterback. And I think that's going to be a great matchup
and
between them and JP2. But JP2 has work to do tomorrow.
I think it behooves Hilton and Christian County to have this week off because you get an extra week of prep for Langhouse, who is now the starter under center, and you need some extra time to prepare. This is a big game. This is probably for the 2 seed in that region because obviously both teams beat First Baptist, and Pinewood Prep's looking like the most likely region champs. So this is for a home playoff game. Whoever wins this this matchup to determine most likely second place in that region.
Right.
On the line this one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, hey, our guest has arrived, gents. He's back there eating the snacks in the green room. Shall we invite him in?
Let's bring him in.
We got Hudson Tanner joining us from May River High School senior. What's going on, Hudson?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing all right, man.
Yeah, doing well.
Glad to have you. I know we're all excited about tomorrow night, but certainly not as excited as you guys who get to go play the game. Got a big one on tap tomorrow night at the Tank. Hilton Head coming in. They're having a great season. You guys are having a great season, both undefeated in the region. How hyped are you for this game? Senior year, man. It's got to be exciting.
Yeah, it means a lot more this year. I feel like the past couple of years that I've been playing, I've been enjoying it a lot. But this year, like knowing that this is the last time I'll get to play high school ball, it just kind of means a little more to me. And I'm trying to make sure I give it all I got and just to leave everything out on the field this year.
Yeah, when you start getting to those last opportunities to play at the high school level, I mean it hits even harder when this is it for you and you want to go out in as good of a manner as possible. And you guys are off to more than a tremendous start so far as you're now number 10 in high school league poll, and you'll be taking on number 7 Hilton Head in a crucial region match that could certainly determine the region champion. But just flash back and talk to me about the start of this year, and obviously had a great season a year ago, but what you guys have done in terms of taking care of business and then staying at home and taking down a still a very strong Bishop England team and really thriving on both sides of the ball to get that done. So just talk to me about what this team has accomplished early on this year and how you guys have really adopted that mentality that Coach Richard Bonneville has adopted for both sides of the ball for you.
Yeah, so last year we obviously had a great season, one of the better ones that we've had in the past few years. And a lot of people doubted us, thought we weren't going to do as good this year since we graduated probably over 15 seniors last year. But after we got to winning those first few games, we just kind of got on a roll, and we've been doing good so far. And hopefully we can pull off a win this Friday. It means a lot because this Friday could possibly determine who wins the region. So if we can if we can get in there and take care of business on Friday, I think we got a pretty good chance.
Yeah, whoever wins this game is in the driver's seat. You guys are the only 2-0 teams in region play, so that puts you in control. Of course, you guys still have a big one looming the night before Halloween against Bluffton, and I know you look forward to that one every year. Just take us inside the rivalry against Bluffton and how much fun it is when you get to play those guys.
Yeah, those games, they're always the most fun games. The Buford, the Hilton Head, and Bluffton game, those bowl games, those are always the most fun because us as players, we kind of know some of the guys from those schools, so it kind of gets a little more serious, and it just makes it kind of a little more fun all around together. Just to be able to drive 5-10 minutes to the other school just to play those guys.
I'm looking forward. Go ahead, Wes.
You've been such a versatile piece of this team this year. You've played some defense in the secondary. You've also handled the special teams duties in terms of punting and kicking. So, talk about all the different roles that you've developed as this year has gone along, and how you've been able to fulfill any need that the coaching staff has throughout a year, and especially this year now that you're taking on more roles as a senior, and just talk about the leadership that you have shown along the way, and just how you've been able to adapt to different positions throughout the scope of this year so far.
Yeah, so for the past 3 years since I was a sophomore, I've been doing the kicking and been playing defense as well. Not a whole lot of people do that, and I kind of take pride in that, and I enjoy doing both of those. And it's a big part having to do the kick and the punting, and then go right on defense after we kick it. And that's what I enjoy doing, and it's a big role. Bonneville, he puts a lot of trust in me, and I try to do my best to fulfill that.
I'm certainly looking forward to seeing you guys in person tomorrow. I'm not going to be on the call for the game, but going to check you guys out. But I will be doing the call on WHHI in that game against Bluffton here in a couple of weeks. Talk to us a little bit about the situation that you've had playing with a new quarterback. Obviously, you played with Tanner for a few years there. Different sort of experience, I'm sure, with Tran at QB. Talk about what he brings to your offense and to your team as a whole as you guys are on this great start.
Yeah, so Tanner, he was a great player. We had him for his sophomore, junior, and senior year. So we kind of got used to having him around. He was a great runner, probably one of the best quarterback runners that we've had. And now kind of transition. Luke, he's doing a great job. He's probably doing as best as he can. His footwork is amazing, and he's really every day at practice he's trying to lead the offense and trying to take pride in that, and he's stepping up, and he's gonna be doing good the rest of this season, and especially next year when he's a senior himself.
Yeah, it seems like he's handled it exceptionally well. I mean, he's done exactly what they need him to do, which is just put the ball in the right place, make the right decisions at the line. And it seems like every time he throws a pass, it's touchdown because you guys save it for the right spots, and he's got some easy throws there. But talk about this defense, because I think we kind of knew coming into the year what the offense looked like. You had your backs back, and obviously we knew Luke had to step in there, but coaches were really confident. But the defense was I think a little bit of a question mark. There's some guys that we probably didn't know their names coming into the season that are playing really big roles. So tell us a little bit about how that's come together and who are some of the guys that have really solidified that unit.
Yeah, so right now, all 4 of our linebackers and the other 3 secondary are all new players to this defense. Last year, those 7 we graduated, so we had to get 7 new guys to come in, take a big step, fill those roles, and they're doing a great job. We're getting stops on 3 and we're getting 3 and out. I think we're not allowing many points at all per game. Last game we only allowed 7 points, so
right.
We're definitely stopping the run game and definitely stopping the pass game as well.
Yeah, I mean, the defense has really stood tall. Talk about that Bishop England game and how you guys made a couple of big plays to seal that lead as it went along. You guys just have a bunch of players that have really shined in their roles at key spots And they fought hard to get back in games, especially earlier in the year in that tight one against West Ashley, which was the only loss of the year. But then that Brooklyn Casey game, the defense stepped up in some big moments as well. So just talk about that unit a little bit more, and just some of those leaders that have really stepped up, and how you guys really dug deep in that Bishop England game to get those stops and hold that one down.
Yeah, our defense, it's a super tight group of players. And that Brooklyn Casey game, it was close the whole time. Not many people thought we could pull that one off, and at the end we did. And then during the Bishop England game, they were doing good. They were driving the ball down, but our middle linebackers and outside linebackers were just filled down super quick and stopping that run game. And when they did pass the ball, we would get right on it, and our secondary would do their job and make sure no passes were allowed.
Got a good test tomorrow. Oh, go ahead, Max. Get in there.
Well, I was actually going to say that, Justin. You guys probably face your toughest challenge yet this season against what has been a very formidable Hilton Head team. Mm-hmm. Talk to me like the game plan going into this one, because this is a very well balanced offense that the defense is going to have to face. With the great running ability of Javen Risher, and then Thaddeus Zarnecki, and just. It's a really dangerous team to go up against, just because you have to guard multiple facets of this offense. So tell me, what is the best way for you guys going into this game to be able to hold this this offense down in Hilton Head?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so going into this game, we've done everything we can do to prepare. We're up in the morning at 6 a.m. ready for practice.
Wow.
And then we'll do film, lift until 10 o'clock. And then after that, we'll do it again the next day. And then it's really just studying film, knowing what they're doing just as much as they know what they're doing. So that every play, especially our coaches, defensive coordinator, and Coach Dyer, our offensive coordinator, they both work super hard and know what the other team does. So every time that they line up, they try to know exactly what they're doing the best they can, so they can give us the best call.
Yeah, and on the other side of the ball too, same kind of story. Very dangerous defense that Hilton Head has. You guys obviously have been a fantastic offense this season. So, two very strong powers going up against each other. And so I wonder, obviously film is a big deal when it comes to the offense as well, and being able to read other teams' defenses. So I wonder, like, what, especially with how dangerous of a defense Hilton Head has, what is y'all's process in getting ready for a defense such as Hilton Head's?
Yeah, so our plan is really just the same as each week. We're just gonna try and run the ball down their throats, pretty much.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll.
It's not really a secret.
Yeah, no,
definitely not.
Yeah, maybe we'll throw a few passes in there. Who knows? And then just keep running that ball. Our running back, Sean, Tony, Justin, they'll get the job done for sure.
Yeah, is Andrew out for the year? Is he done?
Andrew, we don't really know yet. He's had some back issues. He was a big asset to our team, big loss throughout the season. But I'm hoping he can get back for maybe one.
I'll tell you what, though, Justin Head and Tony Cooper have really stepped up and run the ball really well. And then Mitchell is he's a workhorse.
He's a dude.
Beast.
Yeah. Dog.
Beast.
Yeah. Mitchell, he's definitely a good running back. Justin Head, this is his first year playing varsity football.
Yeah.
He's doing amazing. Tony Cooper as well. They're both doing super good.
Yeah.
What are your plans following your time at May River?
I'm not sure yet. I don't know if I want to go to college and try and get a degree in something yet, or if I want to do a trade or play college football. Well, I'm kind of undecided right now.
Okay.
Clock's ticking, buddy. The career development facilitator in me is like, hey man, we need to figure this out. We got to get on a path here.
I'm
trying. What's that?
I'm trying. I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah, we'll sort it out. You'll be all right. You're holding your own great here tonight, so you're gonna do great in an interview setting, and you're gonna be fine. You're gonna fend for yourself just fine. Okay. Just reflect a little bit. I mean, you're coming on your senior year here. You're coming down to the end, and it's been a heck of a ride over there at May River. You guys have built up a heck of a program and had a lot of success. So just reflect a little bit on what it's meant to you thus far, and what you're looking forward to the rest of the way here.
Yeah, it's been a lot of up and downs throughout the year, but all in all, I've loved the time that I've been here. My freshman year, it was a great year. I was kind of still just meeting all the coaches, trying to just kind of get closer with them. And then my sophomore year, whenever I finally got up to varsity, it's kind of when I started really getting close and more digging deep into the team. And then the past 2 years have just been great, just playing on varsity football, defense, special teams, kicking as well. Just getting close with the coaches, and Coach Powell, that's my defensive coordinator and my defensive back coach. And he's been a really big part in my high school time. And he's definitely one of the better coaches that I've had.
But he couldn't get you to go out for wrestling?
He tried a couple times, but I don't know.
I guarantee. I knew he tried. I didn't. You didn't have to tell me that. I knew he would have tried for sure. If you're not playing basketball and you're an athlete, he's going to try to get you on that wrestling mat.
Yeah. What's been the most impactful part of this program for you at May River? You've had some outstanding coaches and great relationships that you've developed over a while for a team that has always been in the thick of it every year. So, just talk to me about the bonding that you've been able to experience, and how awesome it would be to go on a deep run and pick up some wins in November this year to cap it off.
Yes, our team, we're a super close team. We really don't have a whole lot of guys like some of these other teams around here do. I think on our roster right now, we only have 28, maybe 30 guys.
Oh, wow.
So we really don't have a choice but to really be close with each other, which is all in all good, because in that case, whenever one falls down, we kind of all fall down together. And whenever we all go up together. And we just really try and stay as close as possible throughout the year. And if something happens to where we're not as close, Coach Bonneville, he realizes that right away and tries to bring us back in all together.
Sounds an awful lot like Thaddeus Zarnecki talking about Hilton Head's
Yes.
team. There's a recipe for a successful team, and it requires that. It requires that you care as much about the guy next to you as about yourself, and you care more about the team than either one of you. So it sounds like we got two teams that are in the perfect mindset to go into a big game tomorrow night. What do you guys have to do? What's the biggest key for you guys to get the win tomorrow night?
I think we need to definitely get the snap for one. Definitely don't fumble that, and then just make sure we all know our assignment. We all know what to do. Different plays that we could add some plays, new plays, just the old plays, just running our base stuff correct. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
As long as we run our plays correct and everyone knows their assignment, I think we're going to have a really good game.
Should be a good one. Any more for Hudson before we let him go, fellas?
I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys, as I'm moonlighting for JJ while he's on the call over there at the Shark Tank tomorrow. Best of luck tomorrow, and definitely looking forward to calling that game against Bluffton here in a couple of weeks.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, Hudson Tanner, thanks so much, man, and we'll see you out at the Tank tomorrow night for a great game against Hilton Head.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Y'all have a good night.
All right,
you
you
too.
too.
Thank
That's
you.
Hudson Tanner, senior May River
What a
Shark,
kid.
getting us ready for the game. Yeah, great kid.
Yeah, he's awesome.
We got to get that career.
God, how
path
awesome
figured
he
out
is.
for him. He's going to be good at whatever he does. He's just got to figure out what he wants to do.
Right.
That's usually the case. It's just a matter of what direction you want to go. But sharp kid, great interview. Two great teams. It is really going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be
tomorrow
wild.
It's going to be a
It's going to be a terrific game, and this was. I wasn't sure if it was going to be Bluffton or May River at this point. It was going to be the favorite, even though we thought Bluffton throughout the majority of the preseason or pretty much all the preseason into the start of the regular season that Bluffton was going to be the team to beat. But I will say that what we have seen from May River, just the consistency they played with, kind of stuck up on some teams. They had a great start to the season, other than that one loss to West Ashley, which they definitely could have won. But the way they just run their offense, it is so difficult to defend them when they're going through all their sets and their motions, and it's just so tough to make that right tackle sometimes. It gets to you, and their defense will come in and play just hungry. I mean, they will make you earn it, and I think that May River is going to provide a tough challenge for a very good Seahawk team, and I'm really excited just to go into so many different facets of what this game is is going to look like, because I think that this one really could go either way. And even though I think Hilton Head has had they've had a great run, but I feel like this May River team sneaking up on seemingly everybody this
glad
year.
I don't get to pick it.
You're gonna go the route that I'm going usually.
But Marcus,
I don't have to pick it because I'm calling
it. Good call on that one.
Yeah. I'd just rather not. I don't know. I don't know which way I'd go, but I'd just rather not.
By the way,
Jeff Riley agrees. He was great in the interview.
Yeah,
he was really impressive.
Bengals just came back from being down 10-0,
cooking,
taking a 14-10 lead.
He's cooking with gas.
Jeff Riley is here with us. He saw Finnegan tonight at Best Buddies. Finnegan is awesome. We all agree about that.
Yes, indeed.
He says I'm the best host, and Loco Sports Lowdown is the best podcast.
By the way, did he win the? I never checked, but did he?
And he tried to recruit Hudson to North Carolina. I missed that. Anyway,
did Finnegan win the mascot?
No,
I know he won, not this year, but last year he did.
I know that.
He lost his title. Yeah,
dang.
Storm from Georgia Southwestern took him down.
But
anyway, Hilton Head, May River, we've pretty well summed it up at this point. But I'm ready to hear you guys picks. Which way you think this?
I guess we'll start with that one, since we were just
start with the big one.
Yeah,
we're talking about it. Yeah,
I'm going back and forth, so you guys pick it first.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough pick, because Hilton Head has had quite a start, and just that one loss to James Island, and just the way that they have shown their capabilities of providing clutch moments on the offensive side. Yeah, we knew that Thaddeus Sarnecki was going to be the big piece, but what Derek Renishevsky has done with his arm, and they've been able to hurt you in a bunch of different ways. Of course, we knew Risher would be a standout, but he certainly exceeded my expectations of what he has been able to do. It's been great to see his emerge with the offense. And then Jeremiah Walters has been the guy who has really kind of not come out of nowhere, but really has broken out this year. And he's been that downfield deep threat guy in a team which I didn't think they would have one. And so that's been a really key addition for them. But, I think what May River does really well is they make you earn every score, and they really do a good job of assignment football.
Yeah,
and, taking care. I mean, the pass defense, I thought, did a great job against Bishop England. Had a couple of really important plays.
Jeff's got 100 on May River.
Ooh, doggy!
Jeff's got 100 on May River. Wow.
He threw a Franklin on
the
May
text
River.
of the night.
Look, I just want to say this,
Jeff.
I know you're making money over at the Ville, but I wouldn't spend
I don't know if wagers on
I wouldn't go down the rabbit hole betting on high school sports. That's a dark.
Man!
I don't want to give my opinion on that way. I'll give my opinion that it's high school football. We should not be.
We should definitely
wagers on that.
No chance.
No betting. I think you. But he's on May River. But Wes, you were winding toward a pick.
I mean, just I was talking about how May River is a very good defensive team, and how they've really turned a corner, I think, with that Bishop England win. Just the fact that this defense has shown that they can handle some good quality squads, and I'm excited to see what they will try to do to slow down Hilton team, which I think is very multidimensional, and their offense has been able to do a lot. And it's going to take a ton from this Shark team, but man, do they have the guys? And I really think it starts with Xavier Polite. He has been a beast in the defensive side. He needs to be a presence. He needs to be a disruptor for them, because when he has made his mark, and he did against Bishop England, he can really be tough to hold down. So, Xavier Polite is a big factor. Hilton Head has done a good job blocking. I think the offensive line has really improved and has been solid for the most part at this point in the season. But I think that May River's going to provide a little bit of factor defensively that the Seahawks have not seen recently, because I think of those three teams, or of the two teams they played, and then going up to May River, I think this is going to be the toughest defensive test Hill has seen. I think May River's defense is a bit better than Bishop England, in my opinion, just slightly. And I think they're better than Bluffton defensively. Now, Bluffton's offense is a different story, but I think May River's defense, I think, is the best of those three teams. And so Hilton Head is going to have to play disciplined and turnover-free football.
Yeah.
And I expect them to be ready, and I expect them to make those big plays when they're needed, because we've seen that. But May River is going to provide some pressure in ways that Hilton Head hasn't seen recently in their schedule. And then on the other side of the ball, can the Seahawks find a way to limit the gadget plays that May River provides, because but if one team can do that, and I think this is kind of where I'm training towards my pick, if one team knows how to shut down a squad that can provide those gadget trick plays and just find ways to control the run game, Hilton Head has done a great job of that, and BJ Payne's going to have this team ready and prepared for whatever May River's offense brings. I think May River, just the fact that they are run heavy and they will rarely throw passes. I think that Hilton Head will be prepared for stopping the run first, and obviously the Seahawks secondary has been great, and if they're called upon, they know what to do to make those big plays. But just Will Jimenez, I think, is going to have another big game. He's going to be a difference maker. And they've got some other guys like a Jack Jackson, Josh Bigger, who can come through in the clutch and make a big tackle. I think Hilton Head's defense is going to be a big factor in this game, and I think they're going to limit what May River is able to do and just make their presence known at the line of scrimmage. If they can do that, it's going to be a lot tougher for May River to find that consistency moving the ball. So I just think May River's had a great year, tremendous team, great coaching staff. Hilton Head, the depth is better. I just think they have fewer holes at different spots. They're just really well managed, well coached, and just more explosive and can beat you in a couple of different ways. I think if Hilton Head minimizes mistakes and shows the way we have seen defensively, we have seen all season long, I just think the Seahawks have a little bit more in terms of weapons at their disposal on both sides in this matchup. So I expect a tight game. I don't think there will be, two great defenses. So I'm not saying not huge, heavy scoring, maybe not low scoring, but maybe in the 10s, 20s ranges. We'll see.
Like a 20-17 or 24-21 or something.
That's the way Payne likes to play, and I think if the Seahawks can play their strength and play their game, I think they're going to be fine this matchup. I'm going to go with Hilton Head in a very entertaining, tight game at the Tank, and the Seahawks take full control of the region. If they win this game, they will be on the precipice of securing that first region championship since 2008.
I know that Sean Mitchell is an absolute stud. Yeah. I think I would feel a little bit better about May River's chances, honestly, if Andrew Johnson was playing.
I agree.
With the fact that he's out and we're not sure what the scenario is. Obviously, I take a look at the quarterback situation too, and from what I've heard, I'm really excited to see Tran for the first time. I'm very excited to see Luke for the first time tomorrow night. But we know what Derek can do, and he's been proving, that he is one of the best quarterbacks in this area. And then, seeing some of the other guys like Jeremiah Walters make some big plays as well. We obviously know that Thad Zarnecki is the tremendous player that he is. That can do it from all aspects. When you take a look at special teams, that's very tight, obviously, with the two-head monster that Hilton Head has. And then just talking to Hudson Tanner, he's tremendous as well. I'm right with Wes. I think this is going to be a really tight game. I was even thinking like 24-21, 27-24. I don't expect it to be too much higher scoring than that. There's just something about this Hilton Head team over the last few years. They really have turned the corner. And I think with the fact that May River has lost some guys, certainly to graduation and to injury, and we're seeing what we're seeing, with Bluffton stepping right up and swinging with these other teams, punch for punch, so to say. This is Hilton Head's chance. And I think they're going to go into May River and they're going to get the job done. I'm going to take the Seahawks as well.
Max.
The thing for me, whenever May River has injuries, usually the next man up usually steps in and fills the role pretty well on that Richard Bonneville team. And that's what I've noticed over the last couple of years with these May River program, these May River teams, is that whenever the next man steps up, he usually plays a vital role and usually can fill that hole that's missing when you lose someone such as Andrew Johnson. The question for me would be more so, like, I know they played real well against Bishop England, and I'm not, discrediting May River's defense for that. I still have questions regarding May River's defensive secondary units. I'm not fully sold on their defensive secondary yet, but I think regardless, I think with how they played against Bishop England, with how both teams played against Bishop England, you would think this is a really close game. And I've been debating about this one for the last week or so as to where would I go with this game. And even with Andrew Johnson being out, I still think they got enough weapons in that May River offense that they can get this game real close. I'm going to take May River. I think they can get the job done at home. I think they can. I really do think so. Obviously a huge game, and with this one, it can decide a lot of things. This is probably one of the most important region games we have this season from this region alone, and there's a lot on the line from both teams. I just, I love Hilton Head. I think they're really strong, but I think May River is just as strong as they are from what I've seen, apart from the defense. But I think if they've shown me that they can hang with an offense that's as versatile as Bishop England's is, I think they can be able to handle Hilton Head's offense as well, and I think they can get the job done on the ground game in terms of their offense. So I'm going to take May River here, but yeah, I would make this close as well. I think this is a 3-point game.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't have to pick it because it's a hard matchup to pick.
Yeah,
it really is. May River's a hard team, tough nut to crack anyway, just because they're so unique in the way they play.
Yeah,
and the way that if it goes the way they want it to go, they can just grind that clock down and really limit your possessions. And that's what they did to Bishop England by and large. Bishop England didn't have the ball but a few times, so yeah, I think it's gonna be really interesting. I think May River's reliant on kind of the game script a little bit more than Hilton Head. Hilton Head can kind of play from anywhere. Whereas May River, like they kind of need to get on you and stay ahead. They're not really made for playing catch up. So I think that benefits Hilton Head a little bit. But if the game script goes their way, then it's a tremendous advantage the way they play the game. So glad I don't have to pick it. Think you guys covered it really well. I think it's going to be a great game, and you can hear me on WSAV.
Yep. JJ will be on the call, and Marcus, you will be there scouting it out from what I've
Absolutely.
heard.
Should be good times. All right. Well, that one is the big one. That one's in the books. We got some others. But on the subject of May River, I did want to mention big volleyball game tonight. May River goes at home against Beaufort. They sweep the Eagles 3-0, and that means May River finishes second in the region. Clinches the
second sweep in a
week.
Time this week. They've gotten as many games they've had this week. They swept Lofton, now they sweep Beaufort. And as much as Beaufort had that great start to the year, the Sharks are really showing why they were so good last year and why they were a state finalist last year. And now they're really starting to get it as this season has gone along. And watch out for the way this team is playing. I think they can beat anybody in this classification by the way they've been showing out the last couple of games. Although I will say Lofton they didn't look themselves. I was there at the game Tuesday. They did not look themselves. A couple of self-inflicted mistakes early. Just couldn't receive balls that were served to them. That's a solid team, but you can't make those kinds of mistakes in a game like that. And I'm sure they'll be working to fix those as they get ready for the playoffs. But great to the Sharks. 2 sweeps in 2 games two matches against 2 quality opponents in that region. So I'm thinking the Sharks are going to be a tough out. We'll have to. I mean, obviously, this is the end of the regular season, so we're gonna get playoff brackets and playoffs starting next week. So we'll have to check on the RPIs and all of that because playoffs are coming next week for volleyball.
Indeed, and you know the funny thing is May River, like, I feel like last season they got on their hottest streak right as playoffs began, and I just feel as if they're doing the same thing again this year, where they're playing their
very
best
similar
at the best possible time. You know, so
really does.
Actually, that post that just came up too. I did want to mention the boys volleyball team for Bluffton. They've been on a absolute tear as of late, and they are looking really strong.
So May River volleyball is 5th in the RPI, ahead of Bishop England.
They are
not. That's wild.
Yeah.
So they're going to be a high seed.
Yeah. But that boys volleyball team for Bluffton, I've seen a few clips of them. They're really strong. And
Bluffton boys are number 2 in the RPI behind Oceanside.
Yeah, they look. They could make it. They could make a deep run in their playoffs. I really do believe that from what I've seen and who they've played so far this season.
Yeah,
they look really strong too. So definitely keep an eye on that Bluffton boys volleyball team as well.
No doubt. No doubt. All right. Well, speaking of Bluffton, they are at Colleton County tomorrow night. You know, this would shape up to look like a lopsided matchup. Bluffton's got the explosive offense. Defense has been pretty solid. Colleton has been struggling. Certainly they've played tough. They just don't have enough in the tank to play 4 quarters with most of these teams. And I don't see that changing really on Friday. I think they're going to have a tough time containing that Bluffton offense. I think Aiden McCarthy's going to do Aiden McCarthy things and you know, carve them up when it's there and use his legs when it's not. I suspect they'll try to get the ground game going a little bit more because it's been a little stagnant since Holly got hurt early in the season. That kind of put them, you know, out of their rhythm in the run game. They got to passing it really a lot, and I think they'd like to reestablish that run at some point. So I suspect they'll try to do that. But you know, I think Colleton will play tough at home and you know, put up a fight. But I just don't think they're going to be able to contain all those weapons. I think he gets away from them.
Into the second half, Bluffton is going to be able to exert their will, whether it's through the air or the ground. I still think they win by at least 2 to 3 touchdowns, and they're going to take control of this matchup. Colleton County still has a ways to go to figure out just how to get better. When you talk about the big boys in this region, Bluffton wins convincingly.
Yep, agree.
Yeah, I agree. The one thing I would disagree with Marcus on is that I don't think they'll impose their will in the second half. I think they'll impose their will from the start of the game. I just don't see Colleton County being able to handle it whatsoever.
Yeah.
I mean, very young team that we've mentioned before. We've mentioned how young this Colleton County team is, and they're only going to get better. Obviously, they got. I think in 2 seasons from now, they're going to be a very competitive program. I really do believe that. You know, but I think right now they just are no match. I mean, Bluffton basically out talents them in every facet on both sides of the ball. It's just such a mismatch, and I hate it for Colleton County because I really do like Colleton County and what they're trying to build over there. But I just don't think it's going to be a great night for them. I will take Bluffton by at least 3 scores.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wes, anything to add?
Yep. I will go with the Bobcats in this one. Just I just don't think they have the answer on defense for what Bluffton can do, and I think if they're rolling, they're gonna get some points early and often in this game and jump on them quickly. So I got the Bobcats taking care of business game as they prepare for some big ones down the stretch.
Indeed. This one's pretty big now because Bishop England's sitting at 0-2, and now they're at home with Beaufort coming in, and this looks like a more interesting matchup than we maybe thought going in. If you had Bishop England on the 1 line in your preseason power poll and you know, Beaufort down on the 5 line, then this wouldn't have looked like a great matchup. But I really feel like the way Beaufort's playing right now defensively, They just shut out Colleton. They've played, with the exception of the Bluffton game, you could, and Greenwood probably, you could say their defense has really kept them in just about every game.
They have.
And Bishop England's offense is licking their wounds right now. I mean, they've really not had it the last 2 weeks. So, it's going to be an interesting matchup. If it was at the Nest, I would be real tempted to go Beaufort here. I'm not sure if I want to go there on Daniel Island. I think that's a tough place to play.
Yep.
I can't imagine, Bishop England's offense is better than the results they've got in the last 2 weeks. So I think they're probably going to find some things this week. But I do think Beaufort keeps this pretty low scoring. I'm just not convinced they can score enough points to win it necessarily. They're relying just a little too much on BMS to freelance and scramble. And Bishop England's a pretty disciplined team. I don't think they're going to give away a lot of that. So I'll take Bishop England in a fairly low scoring game, like a 21-7, something like that. I'll take the Bishops begrudgingly.
Yeah, I mean, Bishop England, they've been. I think Hilton was far the better team. I think that May River game could have gone either way. I still think
for sure
Bishop England's going to be frustrated. They're going to be chomping the back home. I think they're going to play with a lot of energy. And I think if Beaufort doesn't show up early, this one could be pretty much all battling Bishop, or at least a sizable lead. It'll be tough for Beaufort to come back. I don't think it'll be a blowout like I think it possibly could be. I think Beaufort will find a way to battle, but I still haven't seen, even though they've had some solid moments throughout the year, and obviously they took care of Carlson, which I expected, but I just, in terms of the offensive firepower right now, I think Bishop England's defense is going to find a way to hold them down, and Battling Bishops, I think they find a way to get that offense rolling and just get back at home and provide some of what they were missing those last 2 games. And like I said, just Beaufort has had. I mean, they've had a better year than I expected. As after those first few games, like they've had some good moments, but just don't really have enough on the offensive side this at this juncture of the season to really provide that consistent scoring that they would need to put points on the board against Bishop England. So I just don't think they have enough still at this point of the year. But it's a trap game for Bishop England, even with their 2 losses in a row, because I think that Beaufort can sneak up on some teams if Bishop England isn't playing at their best. So I think that the Eagles could find a way to steal this one if they show up and really lock in on the defensive side of the ball and get some opportunistic offensive drives. But I think Bishop England still is a little bit more than what we've seen from Beaufort this year. So I'll go Bishops by about 2 scores.
Go ahead, Marcus.
All right, I'm going to go with Bishop England too. I've been able to watch them. I obviously saw a little bit of that matchup last week with the live stream, whatnot, after we ended up calling the afternoon delight. Their offense can do some things, but their defense is really stingy. And I tell you what, as much as I want to take Beaufort in this one, I just have not seen enough, like you guys, of what Beaufort can do. They can really get some things done on the ground, but I haven't seen enough through the air. And I think the defense is going to come out with their hair on fire for Bishop England at home, having lost a couple of games in a row. Everything's telling me Bishop England in this one. I'm going to go with my head on this one and take the Battling Bishops of Bishop England, and a shout out to their team chaplain, Raphael Gattis.
Raphael. I love that name, Raphael.
I'd say this. Yeah, I agree. I think this could be a trap game for Bishop England. We've said it, and we saw it last year, where Daniel Island's a really tough place to play at. We saw it when they played Bluffton. We saw it when Hilton Head played them as well. Like, both teams played them out at Daniel Island. Obviously, May River got the win over in Daniel Island last year. But, we saw that, matchup for 2 teams, and it was just always, a question mark as to, what's the situation. We just realized how dangerous Daniel Island can be. for any team, just because it's a great atmosphere and the fans are very, very supporting of that Bishop team. My thing would be is I think, on the offense, I think Buford's kind of a one-trick pony right now. They're just more of a run team than anything else. They can't really get the passing game going. But I would say this: their defense has been pretty strong this year. They've been able to keep themselves in games with their opponents. Apart from Bluffton. Bluffton was a bit of a mismatch. But I think, from what I've seen out of Buford this year, their defense has actually been pretty solid. And I think they're going to be solid again, even against Bishop England. I think we've mentioned the last couple of weeks that Bishop England's offense has not been great communication wise between the players and the coaching staff. From what we've seen those last two games that they've had against Hilton Head and May River. And I think if it keeps going like this, it could play a factor in this game.
Chaz Brown going to have a big game.
Yeah.
Yes, he will.
Buford's got to be able to score, and that's my biggest thing.
Yeah, that's where I get stuck too.
Yeah, yep. And I'm waiting for them to like fully pounce on someone with their offensive players because they got talent there.
It's you feel like it could click at any week now. It could click and they could have a big game.
And my thing is, I think this would be
but
a
it
great
didn't happen
game
last
for them
week
to
against
do that.
Colleton.
I think this would be.
I would have thought it would have happened last week.
I thought it would have been Colleton too, but hey, maybe they've figured something out against Colleton, and who knows?
Perhaps.
I'm waiting for them to click, and I think this could be the week to click. I really do, even against what is a very terrifying defense in Bishop England. You know what? I'm going to take the upset. I'll take Buford in this one. I think they could put Bishop England in a trap, and I don't like. If you look at Bishop England, I just don't trust the offense right now in them.
Yeah,
and
so you're basically just fading. You're just fading Bishop England.
Yeah.
After the last 2 weeks, you're fading them. It makes sense. I mean, like I said, if it was at Buford, I think I would have done it too.
I think if Buford wins this one, it's either going to go one of two ways. Either Bishop England wins by 2 scores or more, or Buford wins by 3 points. I really do think it's one of those two areas, and I think Buford can get it done. The biggest question would be if I choose them is that I think it's because their offense clicks this week.
All right,
figures out ways to score, but I'll take Buford.
Go Eagles! All right, that's Region 6-4A. Region 6-4A in the books. Region 6-3A. This week's matchup, not a great one for the Lowco. Battery Creek's got to go to Oceanside Collegiate, number 2 in the state.
They really should be number one by
my ballot. They're number 1 on my ballot.
Yeah, they would be on, I think, anyone's ballot.
Because
the fact that
they beat Dutch Fork, right?
I mean, I don't care what teams are undefeated ahead of Oceanside. I don't know why
BFC is really good. Don't give me.
Yeah, no, they're a great team and they're undefeated.
But I think Oceanside
but I just think, how can you not go against a team that really dominated or at least showed off a lot in that Dutch Fork game, and the losses they've had were to powerhouse programs either here or another states. So
they're 1 on my ballot and have been.
but that's besides the point. I mean, Bishop England's just a very good team, and Battery Creek is going to have to be tested in a multitude of ways, and it's you just hope that you hope you're able to put up a good fight and
get out of it healthy.
Yeah,
get out of it healthy. That's the biggest thing. Just survive. I mean, it's kind of like when Hardyville played Bamberg a couple of weeks ago, where we just had to survive it. That's all we could try to do. There's some games that winning is not a realistic possibility.
I mean, obviously, you're trying to play well.
You just got to play the best of your ability every single play, and that's all you can really do. So you hope they get through it and grow from it, and nobody gets hurt. But I think we're all on the land.
Oceanside big.
Yeah, land shark. And then moving on to the 2A region, we got 2 games this week. Got Hampton County at Barnwell. That's been like the circle it on your calendar game in that region for a few years, but not this year. Barnwell's down. They lost to Lake Marion, which Hampton smoked last week. So this one should be pretty smooth sailing for the Hurricanes. And then the other matchup is Lake Marion at Whale Branch. It is homecoming in Seabrook. They got the SC State band coming to rock the house. I will go with both the Lowco teams in Region 5 to a Hampton County Big at Barnwell and Whale Branch in a battle in Seabrook over Lake Marion.
I completely concur, Doctor. I think that both these teams in the Lowco look really strong the last couple of weeks, getting back off the schneid, talking about Hampton County. And Whale Branch continues to impress me. You know, had them in our first game, and they're finding ways to get things rolling. I'm going to take Hampton County. I'm going to take Whale Branch, and that's a little ode to Kevin Libby, who always says the same thing that I just told JJ when I bring something up on the Marcus Walsh show. He looks at me, he says, "I concur, Doctor." Just for the record, I'm not a doctor. I did not play one on TV, and I did not stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
Yeah,
nice.
It's got a good ring to it, though. Dr. Justin Jarrett, ladies and gentlemen. And
it does.
I don't know if I want to go back to grad school.
Go ahead, Wes.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of mentioned that Barnwell is not having the best year. I think Hampton County is starting to round the form after a couple of losses against quality teams, and we've seen some good performances on the offensive side. Of course, Singletary has been the key cog in that machine this year, but others are starting to step up, and the defense has been perfect so far for the last 2 games. Shutout Edisto and Lake Marion. Barnwell's a little better, but I expect the defense to be on its game, and Hampton rolls on the road against a team that normally they will see tighter games. I think this year should be all Hampton. I think the Hurricanes strike early and roll in this one and continue their dominance in this region.
Lowco trivia. Jalen Singletary leads the Lowco in scoring. How many touchdowns has he scored?
Oh, Lord.
Oh, great question.
It's a crazy number. It's 22. He has 20 rushing touchdowns.
I was thinking 20. I was close.
He has 20 rushing touchdowns. He has 20 rushing touchdowns, and he's also got a receiving and a kick return or punt return, one or the other.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
man,
that's crazy work. Second on the list is Kamari Brown, by the way, with 17 touchdowns. So he's right up there too. And he missed a game. Yeah, he's having a heck of a year.
Yeah.
May River or Hampton County and Whale Branch. That's what we're talking about.
Did we get a Whale Branch pick from Wes?
No. Well, I
didn't think so.
Yeah. Well, yes, Whale Branch right now. I've really enjoyed what I've seen from them. Not expected too much from that Whale Branch team. Oh, it's going to be popping over there at Seabrook, especially with the appearance of the South Carolina State marching band. What a nice treat there for those fans and for that football team.
Yeah, no kidding.
And for the band kids, how cool is that?
Yeah, and the band kids especially because they get to play with a college band. That's going to inspire so many. That's to have that experience to play in front of a bunch of experienced men and women at the college level. What a really cool experience for those Whale Branch Warriors. And I think this football team is going to come out energized, being at home and what should be a really vibe high environment over at Seabrook. And I think Jaquan Bowers is going to put on a terrific performance. I think that defense, which has really battled at times, is going to show out, and they've got some dudes who have really done a good job stepping up this year. Ivan Watson has had a great season as senior.
Yes.
He has been all over the place. Yep. They've got some dudes who have really done a good job locking in and making some big plays. And don't forget, Bowers can play defense too. He's got 4 picks. So,
yeah, he can.
He's going to be a menace on both sides of the ball. I think Whale Branch has cultivated some dudes this year. They're going to show out and
Harris too.
And I'm going to take the Warriors over Lake Marion in a region clash, and sets up a fun one next week if both these teams get wins. Hampton Whale Branch Lowco rivalry. But big pressure on the Warriors because I think that this is a very winnable game and a game where they should display a good performance. And so I like the Warriors on Seabrook on Friday night.
Speaking of Warriors, Big Zaire Kennedy made his college choice. He's going to Bethune-Cookman.
Okay.
Ooh, very nice.
Good for him.
Congrats to Big Zai.
So for me, I think Hampton County that's a clear and obvious one. Barnwell's obviously lost a lot of players from last year, and so they're just a very young team right now that's trying to figure their way out. But for Barnwell, give them a season or two, and they'll be back to what they usually are as a program. So this is just a down year for them. I think Hampton County rolls them over. With the Whale Branch Lake Marion game, I think this is before they play Hampton County. This is going to be Whale Branch's biggest test outside of Hampton County. And it was the same thing for Hampton County. Lake Marion,
big game for them because it puts them in a position where then if they beat Barnwell, they finish second in the region, even if they lose.
Exactly. And that's a huge deal for a Whale Branch team that we all, I think, thought at the beginning of the season was going to be in that kind of rebuild mode with a new coaching staff. We didn't think they were going to be sitting where they are right now. However, I think Lake Marion's got a solid team. I mean, don't look at that score from Hampton County. I think Lake Marion's a very solid team and a very formidable opponent, especially for Whale Branch. I think Whale Branch gets the job done, but I think this is a down to the wire game between two solid programs right now. So I'm going to take Whale Branch, but this is a one-score game in my mind. I think this is a one-score game.
I can see that.
I think so too, and I think the reason I'm picking them is because they went and won one of those last week on the road. They went and did it at Edisto, and they were able to grind it out back and forth throughout the second half, and they came out on top. And that gives me a lot of confidence that they can do that again at home tomorrow night. So, I'm on both the Lowco teams there. In 1A, Hardyville's got the week off to prepare for their last two games. Ridgeland's got a big one. That's a region championship game at Bamberg Earhart. Red Raiders are ranked first in Class 1A. They're number one. They're an absolute juggernaut. I'm so excited for the Ridgeland kids about how they've turned their season around, and this little 4-game win streak has been incredible. Their defense has been tremendous. The offense has started to turn the corner and figure it out, but man, they are about to run into a brick wall. This Bamberg team is loaded, and as much as I'd love to see it, I can't envision how Ridgeland's going to be able to stand up to it for 4 quarters. I think they'll fight. I think the first half it'll still be in doubt, but by the second half, I think Bamberg's just going to be. They're too big, too strong, too fast. They might even get on them in the first half. They're just, and that's not a knock on Ridgeland at all. It's just
just how good Bamberg is.
Yeah, they're a state championship team.
Yeah, I can't help but think when you talk about Bamberg and this matchup,
Bamberg Earhart.
And you were just saying certainly Jerry Hatcher for sure. All his times facing Bamberger Earhart, but you just talked about what they can do and the wall that they are and the fact that they're the Red Raiders. I think that they're going to be running into a wall the size of Bill Romanowski. Ridgeland's had a great year, no question about it. They still have a chance to do some big things in the next couple of weeks, but Bamberger Earhart.
Yeah.
Shout out Jerry Hatcher. Bamberg wins. Yeah. They're Red Raiders. Give me a big.
Yeah, I mean they're number one team right now, I believe in 1A. Yeah. They're looking the part. Yeah, they got I believe they're over Abbeville, right? Or Abbeville's 2.
Yeah, they are. Abbeville's got 2 losses.
Yeah, they do. So they're over them right now, which is I think and I think that's deserving right now of where they are, and they're a really solid team. And no shade on Ridgeland, just Bamberg's a complete football team, and they're looking like a 1A state championship contender at this point. So just a matter of being a little bit outclassed.
That's a case of it is what it is.
Yeah.
Max.
Mama said there would be days like this.
Indeed.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny because we talk Bamberger. Some of those kids on their offensive line have had a Bamberger or two.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's the same story here. I think Bamberg is just a really solid team. I mean, absolutely 100% a state championship team. They're going to be very tough to beat. I think Ridgeland can give them a fight for about a quarter and a half, but I think that's about it. I think Ridgeland just doesn't have enough to handle Bamberg, and hats off to Ridgeland for how they've turned their season around. I mean, they turned it around real quick too. But I just think this game is just gonna get out of hand. I'm just too much talent to go up against for Ridgeland. So give me the Red Raiders to take over and win this ball game.
Speaking of which, I was surprised at this. Bamberg has not won a state title since 1990.
Good grief!
Really? Wow, that's shocking. That is shocking.
They were in the championship game in 21, in 17, in 14.
They lost all those? Oh my gosh.
2010, but they haven't won one.
Yeah,
it's been 1990.
Oof.
But that is
in the world
powerhouse program. So anyway, that's it for the high school league games. Moving on to the Skeezers, we got 5 of them. John Paul II at Thomas Hayward, a little impromptu rivalry matchup that they picked up when we had the little scheduling snafus. And so I love this, though. JP2 at Thomas Hayward, this is a great matchup.
I called this matchup a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
When it was picked up, and that was
Milligan's
great.
first game, right? Milligan's first game with the Golden Warriors.
Yes,
got a win
upset them
over Thomas Hayward. It was rocky for a couple of years, but they have really turned it around this year. JP2 is coming into its own. We talked about them a lot. The ground game is excellent. Alan Wolf, great dual threat quarterback. Defense is salty. Thomas Hayward has started to look like Thomas Hayward the last couple of weeks. They've found it. They've found the recipe on offense. They're always going to play tough defense. I think this is going to be a great game that I think could really go either way. Really, really tough pick here for me. I'm leaning toward JP2. I think body of work this year, consistency, they've shown me a little bit more. I have a little bit more confidence in them. With that said, if Thomas Hayward came out and had a great night and beat them by 2 or 3 touchdowns, I wouldn't be shocked. It would just tell me that Thomas Hayward is really becoming Thomas Hayward again. That's all it would tell me. It wouldn't take anything away from JP2, I don't think. It would just tell me more about the evolution of this year's Thomas Hayward team. So I'm going to take JP2, but with the caveat that if Thomas Hayward is who we thought they might be,
this is a big game. Like if they win this game, you'll know that they are on the right track. Because we saw what they did earlier. Lost to Orangeburg Prep, lost to Williamsburg. Williamsburg's a good team, though, but the Orangeburg Prep loss may have raised a couple of eyebrows because you expected them to win that game at home early in the season. Now, remember, they had some games postponed or games that were canceled and such. So it was a kind of a rough start. They weren't really dealt a good hand at the start of the year. So I think that really plays a factor when you look at Thomas Hayward and where they've been this year. Meanwhile, JP2, I mean, they're 4-3. This is a team that didn't even come close to a winning record the last couple of years, and now
they won one game last year.
Yeah, they won one game, and that was that. And they've gotten some nice wins. I mean, they beat Creek, they beat Carleton Prep, of course, in that first game, which is a really impressive victory. So, I mean, if you look just by that, Thomas Hayward lost pretty big at Carleton. They lost significantly, 30-13. Now, this was the first game of the year, and things can very well change at this point.
Right.
It's a tough pick because here's the thing. Like, you look at the full scope of the season, JP2 has been really solid most of the year. And I actually expected them to win by a little bit more in the Prep game. Now, give credit to Prep, but I expect a little bit more from JP2's offense in this game. Question, of course, is do they have the horses to stop Tony O'Banner, and can they find a way to hold him down? Because that's really the big difference maker. in this game. I think Antonio Banner's going to have his moments and have his big plays this game. I just think JP2 is the more complete team, and just that's from what I've seen. I mean, they have a capable quarterback. They have a guy who can provide some juice at the running back position, and I like the way they've been playing defensively. And I think Thomas Hayward's still kind of working on that aspect, even though they were better. They gave it just 14 against Patrick Henry and Andrew Jackson, though Patrick Henry not on that same level. I think Thomas Hayward, like I said, like if Hayward lands a couple of blows in a row, I don't think JP2 will be able to recover. But JP2 hangs in there. I kind of like the Golden Warriors. So like I said, I would not be surprised if Hayward wins this game. But from what I've seen, I just think JP2 is the more complete football team. And I feel like that's more the safe pick if I was, I wouldn't, but if I had put something on the line, I kind of feel like JP2 has been there before. They've won big games. Now it is on the road, and that's the other big factor is that you're having to go to Thomas Hayward.
Harvey Beach,
hard place to play. Like I said, Hayward is trending upwards. They could very well win this game. I will go with the team that has really impressed me so far the most this year, and that has been John Paul II. And what should be a very intriguing game, not a region game, but a very intriguing one nonetheless. See where these teams are trending into the playoffs.
JP2 has not the level of athlete per se, in my opinion, of a Tonio Banner or of a Gibson. But I was really impressed with what they do have. And they've got a bunch of guys in all three facets, with the offensive line, special teams, defense, especially the front seven. And Alan Wolf just was able to make plays when he needed to. Thalen, tremendous. Who has the more, outstanding athletes this year? You talk about Dodge Peoples and a couple other guys that can play both sides of the line. Who has the more outstanding athletes? Clearly, it's THA. Who's the better and more complete team? To me, and THA is getting better without question. They're going to make some things happen. But who's the better and more complete team? It's JP2. JP2 goes to the road to Harvey Beach, and they pull off an upset. And it's going to be a great one for them, I think. Yeah. I think they can win the game by in between 3 and 10 points. I don't expect it to be a blowout, but JP2 is going to keep this momentum going. And I think this win will just carry them into next week's matchup against HHCA, which I'll have the call for. I really like JP2 this year. I'm going to go with the Golden Warriors.
Yeah, I think for me is that JP2's defense, I think, is a defense that can shut down Tonio Banner. I really do believe that. I think they've played really great, in terms of their defensive play this season, despite what their record is. I think they've had a very strong and very reliable defense over at JP2. I think for me, I think Thomas Hayward, I think they're good, but I don't think they're what they used to be, especially compared to last season. So I think, for me, in terms of skill sets, I think Tonio Banner is obviously going to be the best player on the field, but I wouldn't count out that duo for JP2 and their running game, especially with Jaden Nabanet, who's been absolutely fantastic. And I think he's someone in the next couple of seasons that could have a talent, as great as Tonio Banner's, and so I think for me, I think JP2 gets the job done here, but I agree with all of you. I don't think I would be surprised at all if Thomas Hayward won this game, but I think JP2 overall on both sides of the ball, I just think they're the better team. I'll take JP2. I think it's a 2-score game.
All right. JP2 knocked up Hilton Head Prep last week. They are back home for another afternoon delight against St. John's Christian, which comes in winless. This is a big region game because somebody's getting in the playoffs and somebody might not based on this game. So big time game, 4 o'clock kick at Sea Pines. St. John's, coached now by Dr. Jerry Brown, Low Country legend, trying to turn that program around, but they are struggling this year. I like the way Prep has been playing. They played so well on defense, especially against JP2. So
Yes, they did.
I'm taking Doug McFadden and the Dolphins to get the dub in Sea Pines tomorrow afternoon.
I am too. I think that they really are starting to get something going over there. They had a great effort and just couldn't quite make enough big plays to knock off JP2, but they played really well. And, it was kind of similar to what I'm thinking with May River and the fact that I'm going to see them for the first time tomorrow. The same thing with Hilton Head Prep and the fact that I called them for the first time in years last week. That team has definitely turned a major corner, and they play with an intensity and just an emotion, and that's a great thing to have, regardless of record, for sure. It's a big game for them with a chance to get into the playoffs at home. I'm going to take them. Dolphins win.
Yeah, I was really impressed with what they did last week, despite coming up short in the scoreboard. The defense was terrific. I think they have a bunch of the guys who have really improved this year, and I think that Davis Cardinal is going to have to be that horse to provide
What
that
a
offense
dog.
early. Yeah, he is a beast. When he can get
Strong
going, he can do some big things. Brody House, don't forget about him. He is a difference maker on
Yes,
both sides of the ball.
He is.
He is
He's
too.
a dog.
Remember, and
I love the way that kid plays. He just goes a million miles an
He's
hour.
got a motor.
great baseball
Yeah,
player.
He's like
too.
the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah, he is.
Yep, but love watching him play. Hilton Head Prep's really turned the corner after a couple of tough games to really begin the year. Here's what I will say about this one. It has been some very rainy and unpleasant days. Not tomorrow. It is going to be gorgeous. A true afternoon delight out there. Actually, maybe on the cool side, only 71 degrees. So I may have to bring a light jacket.
It's gonna feel amazing compared to last week. And Max and I can tell you directly, it actually wasn't as bad once the game started. But it'd be great to see the sunshine and some cool, some actually warmer weather.
I'm
raw last
contemplating
week.
going to I'm contemplating going to that one and then jumping in the studio. But I also would love to get to that JP2 Thomas Hayward game, but it's quite a trek out there. So I'm kind of still deciding what to do. But I wouldn't mind going and seeing that Hilton Head Prep game. I think that would be a really good one to witness, because I feel like it's going to be a big afternoon for the Dolphins. I feel like they're going to put it all together and come through in a big time game. And I kind of feel like there's a little bit more on the table in those careers of guys like Wyatt Harmer and Davis Carl, guys who have been there for a while, trying to really get that big time win and find a way to sneak in the playoffs. I kind of feel like they're chomping at the bit at this point. This is a game they circled. This is a game they're going to put their best foot forward in. And I think they come away with the dub and solidify that playoff berth. So I think it'll be a good night for Doug McFadden Dolphins, who have really been battling all year and showed some tremendous fight on last week in the game against JP2. I think this is going to be a good week for the Dolphins as they get the job done in this one against Stone Christian or St. John's Christian.
I have an idea based exactly off what you said, Wes. I believe our cohort Joe Keith lives near the Ridgeland area.
Okay.
He works behind the camera, but I might have to see if he's not doing anything tomorrow, if he would want to go out and see JP2THA.
Yeah, we'd take some highlights.
Yeah, Joe, get out there.
Might have to text him here in a little bit and see what he's doing on a Friday.
Good point.
Going to Hilton Head Prep and then catching the game of the week from the studio, because man, I do not want to miss that Hilton Head.
That's hard to argue with.
Yeah.
Max, Hilton Head Prep.
Yeah, I think Hilton Head Prep gets this job done. I think St. John's Christian has definitely struggled this year. A change of coaching as well has really been a big factor into how their season has gone. You would think in the next couple seasons, St. John's could be a team that can get back on the road that they used to be at, when they were a very competitive team to go up against. But I think right now they're just not there. They're not that kind of team right now, and I just don't see them being able to compete with Hilton Head Prep, especially with how me and Marcus saw them last week, where they really, they held JP2 scoreless through a half. That's pretty impressive from this Hilton Head Prep team. And especially with how dangerous of a running game JP2 has. I think this Hilton Head Prep team is starting to figure out what they are as a football team. And I think it's good. I think they're starting to get on a hot streak that, frankly, I think will move them into the playoffs. And I think this is going to be a really, really fun team to watch when playoffs begin. I'll take Hilton Head Prep in this one over St. John's.
Yeah, I think it should be a good one. I hope it goes their way. All right, Calhoun Academy, really good squad. Cole Layton at the quarterback, going to Patrick Henry, and it's been a rough time on the farm.
If I can interrupt you just for a second, JJ, what's the score of the BA Colleton Prep game?
It 14-0 Colleton.
That's right. And we obviously we already picked that.
We already
a
picked
few
it,
weeks
but
ago.
still, it's worth talking about because.
Yeah, we'll still talk about it. I was just going to save it for last.
Okay.
But Calhoun 6-1 at Patrick Henry, struggling. I'd love to say the Pats are going to turn it around. And I know Stricklander said they looked a little better on offense last week against Colleton than they had. But this Calhoun team's pretty good. Their only losses to Colleton in a one-score game where it was Cale Owens out dueling Cole Layton, and Patrick Henry just doesn't have that guy to go out there and trade scores with him. So I think Calhoun gets this one out on the farm. I'll take the Cavs.
Unfortunately, the days of Michael Tucker Mathis are a little bit by the wayside. I'm going to go with Calhoun as well. I'm going to go with Calhoun big.
Calhoun bigly.
Yeah, I think the same way. I think Cole Layton is an absolute beast of an athlete. He's absolutely terrifying player to go up against, and I'm sure Colleton Prep can tell you that even when they beat out Calhoun Academy a few weeks back. I think this Calhoun Academy team is a state championship contender clearly within their division. I think this is a really solid looking team. I think, like Marcus said, Michael Tucker Mathis is no longer at Patrick Henry, and I think it's changed. And I think Patrick Henry's got a very young team right now that eventually I think they're going to get there, but not this season, and especially not in this game. I think Calhoun wins big.
Yeah.
Yep. It looks to be that way. Tough go for Patrick Henry this year. They just don't have the weapons that they once did, and Calhoun's got some tough guys. They've really shined at some board moments this year, and they've been a little better than maybe we thought they would be. So, you're trying to scrap and claw at this point, trying to get some wins, but I just don't think Patrick Henry is right at that point where I think that they will have enough firepower to win a game like this. I really hope it improves there, because I'll tell you what, when the vibes are good over there, it's unbeatable over at Patrick Henry. I think those times will come again very soon, but not now. I think it's Calhoun's game to win over there at the farm, or at the it's the baseball field is the farm, but the football field is it called?
Yeah, I call the whole thing the farm. Okay. I just call the whole thing the farm. It all feels like a farm to me. Sure. Yeah. If the baseball field's at the farm, then everything, the whole place is a farm. Because
true.
Kind of like the tank,
a vast
the shark
expanse.
tank.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly. But all right. So we're all on Calhoun, begrudgingly. Jefferson Davis, the Raiders at Cross Schools. This is not usually a good matchup for Cross. Jeff Davis is a 8-man powerhouse since way back. Cross is trying to get this thing going. We've been bold in picking Cross a couple of times, but I don't think this is the night. The Raiders.
Would you say that the Jefferson Davis Raiders have been dominant since way back?
Oh God, you got all the Berman references.
I'm gonna go with the Raiders. Big.
Back about made me snort.
Yeah. Love Boomer.
He's still
Raiders
doing it.
won the
He's
championship
he's still
this year, too.
doing it on
He's still at
ESPN.
ESPN. It's amazing.
I think is he the only original guy from the start of ESPN, or the one who's been there the longest tenured guy?
Well,
it's
him.
It's got to be him.
It's him. Dick
Anyone else?
Vitale started very close to the same time.
I think he's been there
Bob Lee
longer.
retired.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's those
Stevens
two.
moved
Yeah, a
on.
lot of those
Sure.
OG guys are no longer there.
Yes, indeed.
The Raiders have
Yeah.
8-man state championships, by the way, in their history.
How many?
Wow.
8. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's all the reason for me to go with the Raiders in this one. I just look, hats off to Cross. They're trying, but no, not a chance in this one. Give me
they're getting closer, but not this week. Give me the Raiders.
No. Give me the Raiders. And then no picks to be made because we made them 3 weeks ago. But Colleton County leading Buford Academy.
I believe I was
Colleton.
I believe I was the only one that took BA. I think
that sounds right.
The other 3 took Colleton.
That's right. We have to look back at the archives.
Colleton's up 14-0, 2 touchdown runs by Cale Owens. There's, I think, like a minute and a half or something left in the first half. They will kick it back off at 7:30. I confirm that 7:30 start time for the restart. So you should be out of there pretty early, 8:30 or so.
It is all the way at Colleton Prep.
It's such a weird situation. I don't even know what to make of it. Like, I mean, we've seen how different a game can turn around just on a lightning delay at halftime. So, like 3 weeks off, like all bets are off. There's no way to know.
14-0. It's like that. You call it other sports like the worst lead in hockey is a 2-0 lead, or the worst lead in baseball. You're up 3 or 4 runs and. It gets like it feels like that margin where you're up but you're not up big, and if Buford Academy gets a quick score, then it's a 1 possession game, and all of a sudden
and all the momentum is in our favor.
So, I mean, I don't think this is.
You've got some guys that can do that.
Depends if he is ready to come out, and who's got the ball coming out? Do you know who has the ball? At the...
I'm not sure. I think the second touchdown was scored right before they called it, so I think maybe BA is getting a kickoff, but I'm not positive about that.
Yeah, but the question would be is who gets the ball in the second half? Because that could be.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not quite sure of that answer. So.
I don't know the answer to that. Oh, BA gets the ball to start the second half. There you go. Scott Owens is on.
Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it.
And Hampton County is in the house. Well, we picked y'all bigly, Ms. Grant.
Huge.
So yeah, it's good. That's going to be an interesting situation.
Yeah,
I mean, I expect Colleton to finish what they started, but you just never know with that 3-week layover.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, and for me, I think Colleton over that last 3 weeks has played better football, I guess would be the word to use. But I also think that Buford Academy's had a tougher schedule over the last 3 weeks. So
they've had a weird schedule.
They have had a weird schedule, but also they had to play Bethesda too. So that's that's never fun, especially with how that Bethesda team has been playing. So you just don't know what 3 weeks will do. But I still going on my word of Colleton Prep. I'm not changing that at all.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I really do think Colleton Prep's the better all around team. I think they're the more
14 if you go against them.
Yeah. I think and we'll see. I'll be up there obviously for that game. See how they do, and it should be very interesting. Fans are going to be out there for basically a half a game, so that's
they don't care. They ain't doing nothing better on Friday. That's where they want to be on Friday nights. Yeah, they can.
Just to think, the cheerleading squad's basically going to get a minute to warm up before they have to do their halftime performance.
Yeah,
well, they got about 60 or 70 cheerleaders over there too, because they.
How much time's left? Sorry, did I miss how much time's left in the second half?
I think it's a very short amount of time. I want to say it's like a minute.
Okay. I guess a little full halftime, but I guess it'll be. It's just really strange. Strange setup.
The whole thing's strange.
It really is.
That is actually a good question. I bet you they're just going to go straight into the second half. You would
maybe
think
just have like a 5-minute halftime or something.
I really don't know.
Maybe I don't know.
Like how much time there is, or if there isn't.
I guess we'll find out.
That'll
I'll
be
let y'all
weird.
know when
Yes,
that
so.
happens.
We will.
Oh, they did finish the half. My bad.
Oh, they
They
Oh,
did.
finished
so
the
it is
Oh,
half.
okay.
I thought
halftime.
there was.
Oh,
I
so
thought there was a little
there
bit of
won't be
time
any
left.
halftime show. Okay, all right. Fair enough.
Oh, thank you,
All right,
Scott.
so
Wouldn't have
we'll be
known
coming
that.
straight out of the half.
The
Buford
second
getting
half,
the
yeah.
ball.
So only a half of
All right,
football over there. So yeah, you'll get out early.
barely
If
have
you're over
time to get a
there.
hot dog.
Yeah,
Dang, that's unfortunate.
yeah. I wonder. I also wonder what in terms of the admission will
So
be
they
like if
came
you had.
back out after the rain
Will they
delay to
charge
finish
for
the half.
admission again, or if you had to like ticket from like I don't know how that'll work.
I would think it would
I would
Free
have
say,
to
for all.
be
Free
I would
for
like
all.
bet free
At that
admission.
point, just make
but
it a
I,
free.
they usually
yeah, I
stop
would
taking tickets at halftime anyway.
right.
I would
So
think it
mean,
would have to be like I view of it almost like a double header in
Yeah,
baseball
in
where you
baseball.
buy
Well, in
one
baseball, you
and then you
normally
get
have
the
like
second
we've
for
seen
free.
games that are
well, I mean,
postponed and
at that point,
resumed if
just
you
make
have a
it a
ticket
free
to
for all. You
or a
know,
Monday finish at the
except I will tell you, one
Heritage.
time when the Red
Where
Sox and the
you can
Royals,
get
when the
there, you're good.
so there's a time when the Red
Right.
Sox played the Kansas City Royals. They had to postpone the game, and it was in the 10th inning, I believe. And so it was free admission to Fenway Park that
Yeah,
afternoon. The game ended in like 10 minutes because Brock Holt hit a walk
yeah,
off in the bottom of the 10th.
yeah.
And
I
That's right.
remember that.
yeah,
That wasn't that
I
it
long
was,
remember that.
ago.
yeah, that's a good
yeah,
Yeah,
point.
it was a couple of years ago.
yeah.
But
I would suspect it's
yeah,
walk on in, walk on
Yeah.
in,
yeah.
support the team.
Come on in. The weather's
Well,
fine.
week 8 is upon us. Hour and a half till midnight, and then it's Friday, and we're ready for
It
football.
is.
Again, I'll be on the call, WSAV color commentary with Andrew Davis on play-by-play for the May River Hilton Head game. Buford Zone has got that game as well, right? I think they're also heading
Let me check.
to that one. I'm quite certain. So yeah, you'll be able to watch that, and Max is heading out to Walterboro. Wes still debating his options, but
Yeah,
a
couple of
you'll see some football
it's
somewhere. Promise you
yeah,
that.
for sure.
And if you're going to be
Lots
out
of
at a game
football
that we're not going to
there.
be at, let us know. Jimmy will be at the Buford game, of course. He's heading to Daniel Island. Stricklander will be supporting the
Yeah,
Patriots. So
I think the
those
best
forces
move
go.
is to go to go go to the prep game and then be able to get the studio set up for Local Pigskin Live since you will be
Yeah.
on the call for
I'll be
WSAV
incapacitated.
on the Friday night Blitz game of the week, and looking forward to it. I mean, that is going to be as advertised. Two terrific,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
well coached football teams, and so much at stake in terms of that region. I mean, I think this is the best both of these teams have been at the same time. This might be the best team that Hilton has had, and almost. I mean, I've heard debates from others saying that this might be the best team Hilton has ever had. So, it's a big
It
game for them.
very well
It's the
could
chance
be.
to cement that
And
region championship, and for May River to chance to spoil it. So I'm incredibly pumped and just cannot
Oh,
wait to see.
we got Ray Alonzo. That's who we can send to JP2 Thomas Hayward.
there you
Okay,
go.
Ooh, that's a good
Ray's in the mix this week.
there
Definitely.
you
one.
go.
Yes,
Um, I
Ray.
I will say
Fantastic.
this too. In talking to Jessa Jeremiah earlier this week about a couple of things, obviously with me heading to Hilton Head today for the story, and then I said I've got to see the Sharks, so I'm gonna moonlight for Loco at the Hilton Head May River game on Friday. She was talking to Tony TV, her husband, and she said that Tony said that this could very well be the matchup of the year between 7 and 10, and I can say that I think I agree. I mean, there are some other ones. Obviously, we had a classic in the Bridge Bowl, and I expect the Bluffton Bowl to
Mhm.
be great. But this game
Mhm.
tomorrow between these two teams, good night. Get
I think
your
it's.
popcorn ready.
Call
Oh yeah,
it
I
the
think as of
preparation
right.
bowl. There's no two coaching staffs
Yeah.
from
Preparation Bowl.
Loco that prepare better for a
Woo!
game than
Yep.
these two. It's
I
it's gonna
also think
be
this is.
they're
I
gonna
mean,
be well
forget it.
prepared.
Forget it being the best game. I think this is, as of right now, the most important game that we're
Yeah,
going to
until
have
the next
this season. At least, depending on who wins tomorrow night between the two. Because if May River games wins this game, then I think we know that Bluffton Bowl will be
Shoo.
extremely important
Yeah.
for both
It will.
teams. To be honest, because it could either end in a 3-way tie or it could
Right.
end, with someone taking the clear and utter win for the region. So,
yeah,
a very, very interesting, some very interesting things that are going to take place on Friday and what we have for the weeks ahead.
Yep, and we will tell you all about it tomorrow night on Lowco Pigskin Live. We'll try to get it going around 9:30 and take you through the final kicks, the final whistles, and let you know who won and what it means going forward for the Lowco High School football season. Shout out to some of our sponsors. We got Hudson Seafood House on the Docks, presenting sponsor of Under the Bus. New episodes every Tuesday. I got to sit in with the boys again this week. It was a good time. Under the Bus, presented by Hudson Seafood House on the Docks. Great place for seafood, sunsets, and cocktails on Hilton Head Island. Great place to hang out tomorrow night and enjoy that weather before a football game or after the Hilton Head prep game. Great time to go to Hudson's. Get you some brunch this weekend. And then we got our personal injury attorneys from Beaufort, Twinge and Twombly. They've got a rare name, but they provide remarkable service at Twinge and Twombly Personal Injury Attorneys. And HHI Windows and Doors, our old friend Coach Barron from Hilton Head Prep, focused on the new kind of screens these days, improving your view of the Lowco at HHI Windows and Doors. Our official wrestling sponsor is Reverence Wrestling Club, presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind, which will be kicking off real soon. And Jay's Barbershop, the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. All right, for our parting thoughts, gentlemen, Marcus, what do you got?
I tell you what, I really kind of wish that we would have a chance to see a Milwaukee-Seattle World Series.
Yeah,
not saying that it's impossible, but it's not looking that way.
No.
That just would have been really cool because of the fact that the two franchises were very much one back in the day when everything was getting started there. But I tell you what, the Dodgers look absolutely incredible. It'll be fun if we see, regardless of what we see. And right now, Toronto in the sixth inning, last half of it is up 5-1 over Seattle with Josh Naylor at the plate. And
you know who homered again?
Fluharty is on the mound for Toronto. I'm not sure who that is, but
you know who
they looked awfly good last night.
Marcus?
Wow.
Former Guardian Andres Jimenez back to back.
Yeah, it's like the Toronto former Guardians with as many players as they've got on that team. But Josh Naylor's with Seattle.
Right.
So that's it's been fun, and I've been big obviously with Seattle and Toronto since everything shook out the way it did with Detroit taking on Cleveland and knocking them off. And speaking of the Cleveland Guardians, they signed their first player for the new season, and that is one catcher Austin Hedges. He is coming back to Cleveland, I think, on about a $4.5 million deal, I believe it was. So he's going to be back in the red, white, and blue of Cleveland Guardian garb, and happy to have him back. Obviously, I wish he could find a way to start hitting because he's not been very good for the last couple of years, but he's awfully good, behind the plate, and an even better leader for these guys, especially as many young guys that Cleveland's got on their roster. And you figure in a lot.
What happened to Marcus?
Marcus, your volume's gone.
Yeah, you're back.
Oh, okay. Should be a very, very, very fun last couple of weeks of the Major League Baseball season.
Indeed.
Yeah, it will
Max,
be.
Oh, wait, Wes, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Max. I was just saying.
Yeah,
that,
if you want to piggyback, go ahead and piggyback.
No, I mean I was pretty much done with what I was going to say, but this is going to be a fun series. See what happens with Toronto and Seattle. It looks like the Dodgers. I kind of feel like now that things are happening in the playoffs, I think we could have kind of underestimated the Dodgers. Though at the beginning of the season, I remember they were like heavy favorites. I mean, it was not close, and then things started to evolve in the regular season. You're like, there are teams that could sneak up on them, but the way the Dodgers are playing, I don't think anybody's going to beat them.
They're built for the postseason.
Yeah,
they're just built.
They're just some teams just do that. They just reach that
Well,
higher
part of
gear
it
when the
is they
game.
have like 7 elite starters, and they just like shuttled a couple of
Yep.
them on the IR all year and kept them healthy, and now they're all just throwing gas and just dominating. I hope somebody can beat them, just because they're the big money team. I'd love for the Mariners or the Jays to do it, but I don't know, man. I just don't know if they got what it takes to take down that team. But Mariners got one back, 5-2 Jays, top 7. Max, you got a something pulled up here.
Oh yeah, it's my
Guess what time it is?
uniform update of the week.
Well,
Oh yeah,
I don't know what we're calling it now.
Max's
I'll show you all the
Uni-Watch.
first one from the University of Miami of Ohio, not the
Oh.
Florida team.
The Red
they got
Hawks.
these.
The Red
My
Hawks.
cousin went there.
My wife
very
went there for a
interesting-
year.
Very
Okay.
interesting uniforms. They got these gray uniforms that kind of look like they're wearing a sweater. I'm not.
Charcoal. I like
Yeah,
it. I'm
very
down with it.
interesting.
I like it too.
Here's a closer one.
I like the charcoal look.
I do too. It's
Helmets are
interesting.
clean.
Look at there's a closer view of that.
All right.
Very cool unis. They'll be wearing that on Saturday, and then
They do look like a sweater. I see what you mean with the
yeah, do they? They
trim.
do, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oregon is wearing the all whites, very clean looking.
very
But the
clean.
one thing I wanted to show you is the helmet.
The
Here it
Bengals
is.
all whites tonight are sick.
Those are sick.
Aha! Hold on.
Those are filthy.
Dang, you were ruining my life. Never mind. We'll get
Go
to
ahead.
that in a second. I don't know if you can see on this helmet for the Oregon, it's got like a marble look to it. If you can see close
Yeah,
enough, let me
yeah, I can see
see
it.
if I can get it a bit closer. There
Yeah,
you go.
I can see
Very
it.
unusual.
That's cool.
I kind of
Ooh,
like
that's
it.
cool. I like that.
I kind of like it. I really do like it. Very cool helmets. Very cool jerseys, all white. I think anyone who wears all white, depending on who the team is always very clean look. I do like it.
good look,
And then,
white on
of course, speaking of all white, thank you for alluding to it. The Bengals are
The
wearing
albino Bengals.
the white tiger jerseys. Very, very good looking jersey. Oh God, I love those helmets. It's funny because they talked about it for so many years. You'd look at on social media before they came out with these. For years beforehand, they kept talking about when are y'all going to bring white helmets into this game, because it just
Those
would
are
look so
nice.
clean. And sure enough, they did. Very cool jerseys. I absolutely love it. And speaking of the Bengals, they did just take a 10-point lead over the Steelers. Just scored a touchdown. Steelers back on the ball with 14:05 left in the fourth quarter. So that's my uniforms of the week, gentlemen.
Nice.
Very
I
good
like
stuff.
it. Go ahead.
Also, actually, sorry, I have one more
Oh.
thing to talk about, and
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
something we hadn't talked about this week. Following their loss to Northwestern, Penn State, of course, fired
Yeah.
James Franklin. Goodbye. Wish him
As
in
Curry called him Ben
wish him the
Franklin.
best.
Ben
Wish him the
Franklin.
best in his future endeavors. But I said before, I thought this Penn State team was the most overrated team, and that was before they even played Oregon. And now they have lost 3 in a row. And kind of the story with James Franklin in his time in Penn State, so close yet so far away, knocking on the door but never being able to open it. It's
always
just
blowing smoke.
yeah.
He was always blowing
it just
smoke. They never had the goods.
they always had great players. I mean, he had some great players during his time as a head coach, incling one Saquon Barkley. But it's just it was the same story every year. They had a good team, but never good enough to be considered for a Big Ten title or even in the national championship contention. I mean, it just, like I said, so close yet so far away, knocking on the door, but never opening that door. They were never able to open the door. And it was just the same story. And I hope, I really do, because I do like Penn State quite a bit. I hope with whoever their next coach will be, I hope that one day they can find glory and be able to win a national championship once again.
I think they're delusional. I don't think it's ever going to happen.
I don't disagree with you on that.
I don't think they're going to get better than James Franklin. I understand why they fired him, and I think he needed to be fired, mostly because he just doesn't take accountability. He makes excuses and blames the fans and stupid stuff like that.
Look, I like Penn State. I think the idea.
I
of
don't.
Penn State, I do like them.
Give me the heebie-jeebies.
As someone who lives in Ohio and has grown up around Ohio State fans fan base. You know, my mom went to Michigan State, so of course I have
Big Ten roots.
love for the Spartans as well. But
Right.
Penn State has been that team where I just look at them and I'm like, yeah, I like the idea of them. It's just they can never be the best that they can possibly be, or that is the best they can possibly be, and can't get any better than that. It's just this is one of those things. And I thought, after that,
I think it's going to be really tough in a league with Ohio State, Michigan,
they were going
and
to
Oregon
fire
for
him.
them to ever
I
break
was
through.
going to be completely honest. I thought they were going to fire him after they lost to UCLA because that was an 0-4 team with an interim head coach, an interim offensive coordinator, and an
probably
interim
wish they
defensive
did.
coordinator. I wish they did because God, you didn't think it could get much worse, and then you lose to Northwestern.
Lose to Northwestern at home is rough.
Yeah.
All right, Wes Kerr.
All right, so I have a couple. Starting off with USCB soccer, it was a tough stretch for them. Really an unfortunate loss to Flagler on the road 2-1 over the weekend. But not a conference win, but a nice bounce back performance against South Carolina State, where they won 2-1, 2 goals from Maggie Olson, who scored both of them. So great to see that from her. Someone who
Steelers just scored. Sorry,
Steelers. Yeah. That's getting good over there. Between the two veteran quarterbacks, Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers, I'll tell you what, it is so strange to see Aaron Rodgers wearing number 8 for all those years.
Yeah, it
wore
is.
12
Yeah, right.
It's very strange.
You know what's also funny?
Yeah.
You know what's also funny? You don't realize how big that tight end is for Pittsburgh, Washington.
That guy's enormous.
That dude is
I just
huge.
saw him catch that. He's enormous.
Yeah,
that dude's like 6'7" or something like that.
Like a basketball player right there. Yeah, it's like a basketball player boxing up for a rebound when he's making a catch like that.
Shaquille O'Neal of football.
Yeah.
Sealing off.
But great performance by Olsen and the USCB to get that win. But this is the big moments of the season right here, because you remember last year where this team got off to a great start and a couple of games slip away and they fell down to the 8 seed. You hope you don't see that again from USCB for where they are, because you know how difficult this Peach Belt Conference is, and there's still a chance if they can put something together these last few games, they don't have a chance to not only get a good seeding in the playoffs, but also compete for that NCAA tournament spot. But they need to get it going in the right direction. Still in 5th place, but you'd love to find a way to crack the top 4 and get that first round home playoff game. You still have a chance because you still have to play two of the teams left in the schedule are games against teams that are 3 and 4 in Lander and Columbus State. So those are going to be massive ones. And then USC Aiken is one spot below them. So all 3 of the remaining Peach Belt Conference games are going to be slugfests.
Yeah.
Like they're going to be tough games, and I think a lot of them could go either way. So this is a big moment for Gary Bowden's squad. Can they kind of flip the script from what we saw last year at this time of the season and put together some results? So I think excited to see what's going to happen for them this weekend and the next week. Big one coming up. Massive points on the line as they take on Lander. In Lander this weekend, they're back home on the Sand Shark Gaming Network on Wednesday against Columbus State, and then Saturday.
Yeah, sorry, Wes. I was going to say, I think they do flip the script this year, because I think of them as a stronger team than they were last year. And I think they've learned from that lesson last year as to not let your guard down at this point in the season. I think they've learned from that, and I think they will be better through these next couple games. I think they have a shot at that.
I guess the one thing I will say is that going into this game, I think I don't remember if anyone else has scored, but there were like 3 games in a row where it was nobody scored that was not the name Josiah Pack, because Josiah Pack is scoring all the goals, and like someone other, like I was like, can someone else step up and find a way to put some goals in the back of the net? Good to see Maggie Olson get that done, but I'm still waiting for Savannah Page to really unleash her potential, because when she's on, she can be lethal in terms of her scoring. Jenny Hespy, like she has been such a great contributor, and she's not just a scorer. She'll help you in so many different ways. Terrific, two-way player. She'll be fine, but you'd like to see some more offensive contributions from her as well. Bella Estevez, she is someone that if she's able to find it down the stretch, she could be impactful. And then Izzy Amphlett, another player to watch because she has been underrated, solid, difference maker in multiple aspects this year. But if she can really find that scoring touch and make some good plays with the ball, I think she can be really impactful. I still think the makings are there, but this is the time of the year you're gonna have to string some wins together and get some big results. And Landers is going to be an important one, and I'm excited to see how that one goes for the Sand Sharks on the road as they look to move further up in these standings here. And every game's so critical at this point. Yes, the Lander game is at 1 o'clock kickoff on Saturday, back home on Finland Field, 3 o'clock Wednesday against the Cougars of Columbus State, and then their final home game of the regular season next Saturday at 1 against USC Aiken. And all those two games will be on the Sand Shark Game Day Network. And then one more thing, unrelated to USB soccer, unrelated to Low Country, but something I found interesting story that I came across, and one that concerns your Chicago Cubs. And actually the story didn't take place in the U.S. It took place in the Vatican City because Pope Leo, a big Cubs fan from Chicago, and somebody shouted out to him, "Go Cubs!" And Pope Leo called out in response, "They lost," in both English and Spanish. So, unhappy with the results.
I thought he was a White Sox fan.
Yeah, I believe that's incorrect. I think the rest of his family.
Okay, he's a White
he's
Sox
a Sox
fan.
fan.
So,
Yeah.
So he was dissing the Cubs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, Chicago native, but a White Sox.
Pope Leo's
fan.
a hater.
Yeah, so you see the hater coming out right there in
hey man,
that guy.
Look,
hey,
Chicago.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Chicago fans, their blood runs deep. I mean, they're one of the better sports cities in the country. So, I mean, you talk about someone who just lives and dies by his team. He's not gonna. He's still following, even though he's a big responsibility as the Pope. He's still following what's going on. So yeah. So funny stuff there at the Vatican in the sports realm. And another news in Major League Baseball, Alex Bregman opting out of his contract with the Boston Red Sox. So he's going to be on the market in free agency. We'll see.
Wow. So the Red Sox trade their franchise player.
Yes, they trade
another guy who plays
they trade Devers away.
They let him get away.
They get a fringe starter and prospects. That's it. And now it looks like they're going to lose Bregman. So
they never learn.
Oh, what a terrible deal that was.
That's what I say about the Cleveland Browns all the time. Boy, what a game! What a game they have against the Miami Dolphins on Sunday.
Can I just say,
called the toilet bowl?
Speaking of the Cleveland Browns, the fact they got rid of Joe Flacco. Flacco's looking like old school Flacco.
He's dealing tonight.
He's dealing.
Fire.
You want to talk about the Cleveland Browns trading away stuff? There's one player.
I think he's kind of excited to have Jamar Chase. He's targeted.
Yes, I think it's a big upgrade
around.
That's
the problem.
Higgins. Yep.
I mean, that is the problem with the Cleveland Browns. No wonder why no quarterback wants to play in Cleveland. It's because they got nothing around them.
Well,
it's rough.
Nothing.
Rough time over there.
Terrible.
Hey, maybe all he'll have to do. I mean, he's played for every AFC North team except for Pittsburgh. He's played with the Ravens, the Browns. Now he's played with the Bengals. Maybe after Rodgers leaves, he'll
Rodgers retires and he goes to Pittsburgh next year.
Yeah,
Joe Flacco, 48 years old, trying to play on every team in the league before he's done.
But hey, maybe we'll start having that discussion. Is Joe Flacco elite again if he's able to string together?
Right. He looks elite tonight.
Wins and power the Bengals back to relevancy after the injury of Joe Burrow.
And pull the Steelers back to the pack in the AFC North. Well, I have nothing to add to this 2-hour festival, my friends.
Yeah.
I think we've said it all. Appreciate you guys. It was good times. We got everybody ready for Friday night. We told you about what's going on with the volleyball, the USCB soccer. We talked with Hudson Tanner. Jam-packed show. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks to all of our sponsors for making it all possible. And thanks to you for showing up to listen or watch. We're going to catch some Z's, rest up for tomorrow night, week 8, hitting the field under the Friday night lights. And we'll be here around 9:30 for Lowco Pigskin Live. So join us then. And for Marcus Walsh, Max Araj, and Wes Kerr, I'm Justin Jarrett. So until next time, go Lowco.